Hello and welcome to today's webinar, um, File Management and Automation with 360 Sync. Okay, so what we're going to do today in this webinar, we're going to talk about a problem, present a solution, and then show off some new technology. My name is Michael Reuter. I am the product manager of 360 Sync. I'll be doing the discussion and the live demo today. So if you guys have any questions at any point, please make sure to utilize the Q&A portion of the webinar tab. And then if there's some question that you want to ask privately, please feel free to shoot me an email at the end of the project or at the end of the webinar today. And so the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a problem. Okay. And so I'll let you know a little bit about me. My name's, again, like I said, my name's Michael Reuter. I've been with Applied Software for it'll be 8 years on the 1st of April. Before that, I worked with Walsh Construction. I was a project engineer, and I was also a BIM coordinator for them. And so it was my job, whenever a file was emailed to me or sent to me, it was my job to manage that file. And so sometimes that meant, sometimes managing the file meant downloading that file and then saving it to our server so that everybody at Walsh had access to that file. But then it also meant uploading that file to the document management system for the project, which was SharePoint. So I'd have to upload it to the server and to SharePoint. Then once I had finished uploading it to or downloading it to our server and uploading it to SharePoint, I would then also have to take it to our field software, which was BIM 360, but many of you guys might use Procore or something else. So I'd have to do everything a third time. And then if I was to send anything to an architect, like an RFI or a submittal or anything like that, I would also have to upload that file to the architect or the engineer so that they could then review it and respond to it. So I was doing everything in triplicate or sometimes even 4 times. And so it was the most frustrating, my least favorite task of the day. It took me probably an hour to accomplish just because, I was having to move several files into several different folder structures across several different platforms. It was time consuming. It was my least favorite thing. And so I waited till the end of the day to do it because I did not want to have to do it a second time. And so that probably caused some delays, but definitely it was my least favorite thing to do. So when I came here to Applied, our owner, Richard Burrows, always asks the question, what's a broken workflow in your industry? And so when he asked me that, I thought about it, and I thought about that problem that I just described. And so basically he liked my idea, and so he teamed me with a developer, and we built 360 Sync together. And basically what 360 Sync is, it's just an easy to use piece of software that's going to let you copy files from one place to another, either on demand by clicking a button, automatically on a schedule, or in real time within seconds. Okay. Also, if we take a look at this slide right here, this shows everything that we currently connect to. So right out of the box, you install 360 Sync on a Windows computer. That could be any Windows computer. It could be your desktop, it could be a server, it could be a virtual machine. Basically, the only requirement is that Windows is installed on that computer. Then, because once 360 Sync is installed, it can connect to whatever that server connects to. So that could be a server or a shared drive, or it could be something like Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, Ignite, ShareFile, OneDrive, or Panzura. We built it originally to work with BIM 360. So any version of that you might use, whether it's Field, Glue, Docs, Team, Design, Build, Autodesk Construction Cloud, whatever you're using with Autodesk, we can connect to, and we can take files to it or from it. We can also connect to Procore. We've always been able to connect to the Documents tool, but we can download and upload files to and from the Drawings tool. We also can download files from the RFI and submittal tools as well. We can connect to Viewpoint for projects, PlanGrid, Newforma, Bluebeam Studio projects, Autodesk Vault, Asite, SharePoint, and Citrix files. Okay, so all of those things we can connect to, and we can take files to them, or we can take files from them. Okay, so now that you know what it connects to, now you know the whole idea behind it. Let's kind of talk bigger picture here. Okay, so what we've found, not only with 360 Sync, is there a big need for copying files from one place to another, but we also have found that there's a real need to connect to more things that the industry connects to. So that's why we built PlanGrid and Newforma, because that's what we found, that subcontractors still use PlanGrid or are using Autodesk Build. And then architects and engineers still like using Newforma. So we believe that, you know, connecting to more to what the industry is connecting to is going to is just going to be more helpful for everybody. But what we've also found is that it's not just the files that you need to that need to be synced or that need to be updated between multiple places. It's the files and the data. Okay, so I want you guys to imagine a tool that copies files and or data from one place to another, and not just doing it you know, in real time, but doing it with a purpose. So let's take the RFI workflow as an example. Okay, so right now, if you're creating an RFI, let's say you're the subcontractor, you create that RFI, you probably are going to create it in your document management system. Maybe, let's just, for sake of argument, let's say that is BIM 360. You're going to go in there, you're going to type out your RFI, you're going to save it in BIM 360, and then you're going to export that RFI as a PDF. And it has all the pertinent information in there. It has the RFI name, description, number, the question that you're asking, the suggestion perhaps, and then yeah, you've got that ready there, right? So you save that right now, you export it, and then you email it to the general contractor, and the general contractor reviews that RFI. They put that into their system. Let's say that they're using Procore. They put their that data into Procore. It's almost the same as yours. Maybe they add a couple of sentences, or they clarify a few things that maybe you didn't understand, or that you didn't clarify enough, or in their eyes, you know, from your BIM 360 RFI. Maybe they add a couple of drawings or markups, but they save that. Then once they're done with it, they hit the export button, export that as a PDF, or maybe if there's attachments, like I was saying, with like a markup or a drawing, they zip it up. And so then they have to send that to the architect. And let's say that the architect uses Newforma. If that's the case, then the same process, that general contractor is going to have to log into Newforma, type in his all the RFI response stuff that he just put into his own Procore system, upload the zip file that has the drawings and the markups inside of it, as well as your PDF that has the all the pertinent information, the question, the suggestion, the RFI number, the RFI name, all that fun stuff. And so they have to send it to the architect. And it's the same exact data from one place to another, but basically you have to manually enter it all. Then the architect gets it. They respond to it. They answer the RFI. What they have to do then is same thing, but opposite. They they respond to the RFI. It's in their data system. They export that out. It exports as a PDF. If there's attachments, it also exports as a zip file with attachments added to it. And then they send it back to the general contractor, who then either reviews it or whatever, and so on, and then it pushes it back eventually to the the subcontractor. So all of that, I think I mentioned what 3, 4, 5 times. There is double, triple, quadruple entry of data. Okay, that's frustrating. That's a gigantic waste of time. That is not something that anybody really wants to have to keep dealing with. And so what 360 Sync is aiming to provide in the future is a solution to that very problem. How can we copy files and data between different data sources, so that you can spend less time doing data entry and just copying and pasting things from one field to another, or importing and exporting things from one place to another, and spend less time on that and spend more time maybe focusing on crafting the perfect response to that RFI, or writing the correct question, or maybe even just going out into the field and reviewing things for quality and control, doing the things that you were hired to do, that you enjoy doing, rather than focusing on mindless drone tasks like data entry. And so again, the whole reason that we did that was because that starts with connecting to what the rest of the industry connects to. And so that is 360 Sync, that is connecting 360 Sync to Newforma. And so right now we can connect to the project center, and we can upload and download files to and from Newforma. Okay. We can also, we've also built in a new tool for issue management, where if you use Autodesk, we can sync, we can download the issue data from Autodesk and export it as an Excel file. Then once that data is downloaded, you can edit it in Excel, change it, batch edit everything, save that file, and then 360 Sync can upload that data back into Autodesk, and the data is edited and repopulated up there in the cloud. And so what this was basically our first little toe dip into managing data, proving that it's something that is viable. The third thing that we've done is we've integrated with PlanGrid. Okay, and so just like with Newforma and the rest of the things that we connect to, now you can sync your PlanGrid projects with anything else that we connect to, whether that's Newforma, Bluebeam, Autodesk, Viewpoint, SharePoint, Dropbox, whatever it is. We can copy files to or from PlanGrid, we can do it automatically. Then finally, the fourth thing that we've built is 360 Sync in the cloud. Okay, and so because 360 Sync is now part of Evolve, now we can we've built a product that's going to allow you to copy files, data, or files and data from one place to another, by leveraging the online APIs of an AWS functionality, so that you can sync files not just in real time, not just on a schedule, or not just on demand by clicking a button, but in real time, so that you upload it in one place, and then within seconds, the file gets copied to the destination locations. Okay. And so as I was talking about with that RFI solution before, not only with things like RFI and submittal workflows will you be able to copy a file in real time wherever it needs to go, but with 360 Sync here very soon, you will be able to copy the RFI information or data from one place to another based off of a status or some sort of workflow event. So if we go back to the the example that I laid before, the general or the subcontractor writes the RFI and they assign it to the general contractor. So they mark it as open. That once they mark the RFI as open, that gets sent to the general contractor in real time. And so then the general contractor gets an email from their document management system saying that a new RFI has been created for review. They go, they review it. And then if they have an answer for it, then they'll mark it as answered, and then it will go back to the subcontractor. But if they agree that it's a good question to ask, maybe they clarify it a little bit further. They make a suggestion or whatever. They add more markups into their own system, and then once they've done that, they will mark it as submitted. And that basically what happens then is that submitted RFI goes from the general contractor to the architect's document management system automatically in real time, just like that. And then that RFI, the architect or the engineer, they review it, they write a response, they add some markups to the files that were provided, they save that, and they mark it as responded or answered. Once that thing is marked as answered, it goes back to the general contractor automatically without any manual transmission. The general contractor reviews it, and then they mark it as approved or closed, and so then that distributes it out to all important parties. So now, not only is the file being moved immediately, but it's being moved immediately when a certain status is met. And so that should revolutionize the way that you deal with RFIs, submittals, and other workflows, maybe even issues. So with all of that, I'm going to show off our demo today, which will be 360 Sync in the cloud. Right now, our cloud tool, it connects with Autodesk, Procore, and starting tomorrow, it will connect with SharePoint, okay? In a week or two, we also expect to have PlanGrid and Nuforma as well in the cloud. And then a few weeks past that, we will have Windows as well. So that will probably encompass 80% of our customers right there that currently use the desktop tool will be able to start leveraging our, the desktop tool or sorry, the cloud tool instead of the desktop, which will improve speed and accuracy. Okay. So I guess, let's see, before I jump into my demo, let's see if there's any questions so far. So no questions so far. Okay. So I'll move this off of here. All right. So if you see, I'll just go ahead and log in brand new. Okay, so let's go to foresight.evolvemep.com. And I guess let me log out. Okay, so you go to foresight.evolvemep.com. You put your username and your password in. And if you want to stay signed in, you can check that, but then you just hit login. Okay, and so once you get there, it brings you to the Evolve homepage. And so you'll click right now on the waffle in the top corner, and you will pick 360 Sync from your module. So now notice right now there are 9 modules. If you are an Evolve customer, then you may already have access to some of these, but basically what we're building is a platform for the MEP contractors out there where they can better manage fabrication in the cloud. So we have a shop functionality that'll allow you to manage your shop process There will be a materials module as well or there is a materials module that allows you to manage not just the items that you're about to build in the shop, but then, procure all the materials that go into building the items in the shop. There's data analytics that allows you to see, your efficiencies and inefficiencies with how you're building things. Maybe one project is going better than another, and you could get some good insights as to why. There's mechanical, which allows you to leverage your Revit data and then bring it into the cloud so that you can manage that out in the field. The field tool also allows you to manage things from shop into actually building them out in the field. The EM management, that's really one just for admins. And then there's design, which allows you to view and review your design out in the field. But again, what we're dealing with today is 360 Sync. So I'll click on that. So when you click on 360 Sync, it's going to take you to the workflows page. But we want to get started because we haven't done this before. We want to go to connections. So you can see, actually, I already have started here with connections, but you can see I've got a SharePoint connection. I've got a Team and Docs connection. I've got a Glue connection. I've got another Team and Docs connection, and then I've got a Procore connection. So setting up Team and Docs is pretty easy. You pick Autodesk from the drop-down up here. You choose Team and Docs as your data source, and then you put your username in. And from there, you hit Set Connection. And when you do that, it's going to ask you to log in. Choose Stay Signed In and hit Signed In, and then the first thing that it'll do is it'll ask you to allow our app to work. And if you allow our app to work, then you're good to go. Okay. From there, same thing with Procore. You put your username in, you hit Set Connection, and you're good to go. Okay. SharePoint's a little bit more difficult. You put your email and your server URL in there, and then I would work with you to build a custom app. You hit Set Connection, and then 360 Sync's going to run. Okay. But the nice thing about this is that if you you want outside contributors to work, this actual functionality will allow you to do that. So if you want a let's just say, I'm Evolve. If you want a non-Evolve customer to still be able to use 360 Sync, this will actually allow you to do that. Okay, so once you've got your connections set up, all you really have to do is come over here to workflows. So you can see right now I have one workflow already built, but I'm going to hit the plus button up here in the top. And so we'll call this webinar, and we'll call this 328 SharePoint demo. Okay, notice I can select an existing template if I wish, but I'll hit done. Okay, so once I do that, I can now notice that it brings me to notice that it brings you to a blank canvas. And so if I come over here to my tools in the bottom right corner, I can click right there. And so if I want to copy files from SharePoint to Procore and Autodesk, I can drag those onto my little canvas here, and I'm good to go. Okay, now once I've chosen where I want files to be copied to and from, now I just want to click my Actions tool, and I'm just going to drag over Copy Files. So now, right now, we only have one action, but we will have several more here in the near future. We can copy files now. We will also have publish models, export data to Excel, and then, like I was just talking about, we will have RFI workflows. Okay, but if you want to select an action, you just click and drag it over. And so once you drag it over, a module is about to pop up. Let's see. Let me try that one more time. Okay, so we'll start first with our source. So if I want to copy files from SharePoint, then I will pick the project that I want to connect to, and then I'll choose the folder that I want to sync with. So if I wanted to sync everything, I could just pick Shared Documents. Or if I wanted to, I could hit the drop down and I could pick, oh, I just angered the gods. I'm sorry about that. Let me do that again real quick. So I'll drag and drop these on. Then I'll pick the action. Pick SharePoint. I'll pick my site. And I'll pick the folder. And then if I wanted to just pick one folder, I could just check a box. So I'll just check this coordination folder. And once I've got that done, I'll hit next. Now I'll come over here, I'll click a destination. So if I want this to go to ACC or Autodesk Construction Cloud, then I'll choose that. I'll pick the hub that I want to connect to. Notice that any hub that has our app turned on and that you have access to shows up. Same thing with any project that you have access to. And then any folder that you have access to will also show up here. So that's it. That could be as basic as just the entire folder structure, or if the owner of the project only has given you access to one or two files or folders, then that's all that you'd be able to see. So now I'll click that. See, I'll pick a folder. Let's pick that one. And now since I want this to go to a second destination, I'll hit the little plus there, pick Procore, pick a company, pick the project, pick the repository that I want to take files to. I'll just pick documents. And then I will pick the folder that I want these files to go to. So again, I could just drop them directly into the root folder, or I could choose to pick a specific folder, and that's what I'll do. I could also choose to create a folder by hitting the plus. But I'll come down here, see if there's a webinar one. Well, I'll just pick this Whiting Turner one, no big deal. Okay, so now I'll hit next. And so now all I have to do is turn it on and choose what I want to do. Okay, so if I hit sync now and then I hit save and sync, then 360 Sync will start syncing right this minute. Okay, and it'll just do it that one time. So think of that as like a migration tool, like a one-time migration tool, or maybe you just want to do it right now and you want to manually choose when files get copied. You can choose to just have it sync now. If you choose to have it sync on a schedule, you can check that or click this little button, and then you can choose the day or days that you want this to run. So if you wanted this to run Monday through Friday, let's say at 3 o'clock in the morning, then you could type that in right there. If you wanted it to repeat multiple times, you could check this box. But the best solution is to have this run as a real-time sync. And so what that'll do is two things. First thing, it will sync everything right now. Second thing is once it's done syncing everything right now, it will sync from that point on any addition or any modification that occurs in SharePoint will then be copied to Autodesk and to Procore. So I'll hit real-time sync and hit save and sync. Okay, so I'll save that and run. For some reason, I just had we had a bit of an issue there. Let's see. Up. Okay. So bear with me here. Let's see. Let's try that one more time then. Sorry, we're in the process of updating everything right now. So it's things are a little bit wonky on our staging site. Okay, so we'll go do that one more time. There we go. Let's just see if the sync now, there we go. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to start. And so now it'll start syncing files. Okay, so I guess while we're waiting for it to start syncing, let's I can show you the logs. So you can see right here, if this syncs, it'll go folder by folder and show you what all copied. You can also review the log file and see whenever everything moved and when it moved. So at 3:30, I guess GMT time this morning, this particular file updated. But we should see here in a second a new mapping show up. So I guess right now I will open it up to questions. So if there are any questions that you guys have about what you've seen or what I've talked about, please feel free to shoot me that question right now. Okay. See, typical question that I get asked is whenever 360 sync runs, does it copy everything? And so the answer would be yes. The first time it runs, it's going to copy everything from one place to another. That's in the folder that was the source. Second time it runs, it's only going to upload the things that were added or that were changed from the previous time that it ran. Okay, and if it's in real-time sync, like I was showing off, then it will only sync. It'll sync the files automatically in real time, only after they've been copied, or after I guess once they've saved and have finished uploading in the original source location. The two things that really our customers have all asked for with 360 sync, we believe that we're solving with our cloud tool, which is one, there's always IT restrictions on things that are installed on computers or on servers. And so a cloud tool is deployable from anywhere, from any machine. And so this allows our users to get around any IT restrictions that they might have. But also this allows us to sync things in real time. There we go. We've got our sync that's starting. And files are starting to move. And so you can see it's in progress, it's not complete yet, but as each file comes in, we'll see that. So if we don't have any more questions, or any questions, I guess, let's see, let's do our call to action. Okay, so so basically here's what we're looking for. Okay, we would love to have any or all of you guys as beta testers or as testers or as users of the 360 Sync Cloud tool. So I'll put my email up here in a second. Okay, so if anybody is interested in checking this out, having a free 15-day trial of the cloud tool or of our desktop tool, which I didn't even get to show off, but it has the exact same functionality. It actually connects to even more things, the things that I showed off in my first or second slide. But if you guys would like to trial this out, please shoot me an email at michael.reuter@evolvemep.com. We will get back with you as soon as possible to schedule a demo and a trial so that you guys can get to using this and test it out and see if it's something that you guys would be interested in. But I really appreciate everybody's time today. Thanks, and I look forward to talking with everybody in the future.